As you now know, creatives are probably the most important part with the new ad strategy nowadays, which is why we made the decision at the agency a little over 2 months ago to actually start working with Motion App and offer Motion App to every single one of our clients as a way for us to better report and understand our creative performances. I did a creative strategy and process walkthrough a few weeks back and how we integrated Motion App within that strategy, but today I want to talk about my experience after 2 months of using that software. Full disclaimer, there will be a discount code in the description down below offering you a 10% off of Motion App for the first 3 months. And with that being said, let's get started. If you don't know who I am, my name is Justin and I'm the founder at Wizo Media, an e-commerce marketing agency specializing in elevating thriving brands by simplifying e-commerce growth. Before we actually dive into the actual software, I want to talk about, again, more the experience part and what it feels like and looks like to get started with that app. First and foremost, again, I mentioned in my last video, but I'll start this video by mentioning it again. We first started purely as clients of Motion App before we actually got talking about getting a code for these videos, blah, 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 for our clients. But again, I was first a client of their software for over a month before we talked about any of that. So with that being said, when we first started working with them, what I thought that was very interesting is the fact that we had multiple onboarding calls available to us to meet with different team members on their side. And that to me was very surprising because, coming from a SaaS company, I've never really had that. Like most SaaS companies, again, they're gonna say they're gonna give you a partner or support, and it's usually email chat or it's like online stuff, but it's not like somebody actually shows up on a Zoom call and it walks you through exactly what you want to know, and even in their case teaches our team part of creative best practices, which I'll get into in a second. So one of the first calls that we had with their team was more of an onboarding call, just getting familiar with the platform, them understanding what are our needs and how they could best create different reports for our clients, which is what they did. So they've actually came into our account. They created a bunch of template reports based on our needs that we communicated to them, which we were then able to actually propagate to all of our client accounts. So they really came in clutch on that side. Then we had 2 subsequent calls. One where, again, on that onboarding call, I asked them, I was like, look, we have kind of 2 teams in-house. We have our media buyers and we have our creative specialists. Is there a way for you to actually meet with both teams and teach them how they can best use Motion App? Because our media buyers were responsible for the ad naming conventions. And as you may have seen from one of my recent videos, we have the system called Polka tracking at the agency where we give out variables to our ad names in order to best test certain metrics and performances for these variables, right? So we're able to do a lot of A/B testing for specific stuff like the angle used, the concept used, the headline copy used, etc., all because of the ad name. So how can we best use their platform to create custom reports to see these metrics? So they happily said yes. They hopped on a call with our media buying team. They showed them how to best do these variables. They even gave us an updated system. They actually gave us like, look, we think that you have a great system, but we think we have something maybe a little better on our side. How about we're gonna send it your way, you integrate it however you want within your system, and then here's how we recommend you implement that with Motion App, which is what we did. So again, there's probably gonna be a few screenshots here and there on screen kind of showing you some of the stuff that we implemented from the calls that we had with their team. Now, call number 2 that we had was again with our creative team. So the Motion App team was honestly super kind and agreed to also meet with our designers, and they met with them in order to literally teach our team what key metrics and where can they look at possible iterations on Motion App. So they've actually made specific reports for our creative team to look into Motion App, see low-hanging fruits and opportunities for quick, small, and easy to do iterations on ads that instead of our media buying team telling our creative team like, hey guys, we're gonna need iterations, then the creative team could actually on their own come and create those iterations, send them to the media buying team so that they would have creatives for days, honestly, for every single client. So that again, both of these calls were about half-an-hour calls, was great, packed with value, and allowed us to actually improve our processes and efficiency in how we went about the creative side of the business. So for me, I think one of the best points was the fact that it felt more like an agency than a SaaS, whereas you had a lot of this human touch, right? You were speaking to real people. They were super happy to help you. It felt more like, and all of them had a media buying or creative background on their side. So it's a team filled with people that have agency experience or online advertising experience. And that basically makes me feel secured personally, because I'm working with people that speak the same language. And what we're trying to do again on these calls is they basically imagine an agency that creates a SaaS that helps you with your creatives and is able to speak the same lingo as you while helping you use their tool. That was basically how we felt during those calls. So as an example, some of the templates that they made for our team are those, right? They're categorized under by motion right here. So they've made top creatives, video iteration, which is a great one for our editing team. So it shows low-hanging fruits and where we can actually make quick changes in our ads. Video iteration also for creatives, static iterations for, again, stuff for the creative team, which that was done afterwards. Again, another style report for our team to just go in there and do implementation right there. And creative testing, type comparison, audience comparison, stage of funnel comparison, creative fatigue. Then there's their default templates that are there across, I believe, every single account as soon as you make a new workspace on there. So like your top creatives, copy landing page, and video drop off, and more. So as an example, if I go into for creative team and I look at the last 14 days, the benchmarks that we have here are ROAS, time stop ratio, CTR, and click to purchase ratio, which again are all great ways for our team to know what to do. Again, my goal with this video is not necessarily to teach you how to use Motion App, because I've already done that in a recent video. It's more to show you what they've implemented, what they've done for us, and again, talking about experience. So to recap, we got an onboarding call with them, then we had 2 coaching calls with our team. They actually shared their internal systems and recommended ways of proceeding with our team, which allowed us to build new naming conventions and tracking systems in-house. And they've set up a bunch of custom reports on the app. And to this day, any questions that we have, we can just quickly email them. They're getting back to us usually within the same day. And again, super happy with our overall experience with them. Now, I do want to dismantle one thing that I hear about sometimes when people are talking about Motion App, which is, can't I just view the same stats on Facebook? Or can't I just view the same stats on TikTok? Short answer, yes. All of these stats are not stats that they create for you. You can view all of these stats from Facebook. It's more to see the data in a visually appealing way and to make the data speak. So as an example, you can't just go on Facebook and create reports that benchmark essentially a certain creative type versus another one. Or how can I say? Technically you can, but what I meant by that is actually through our variables, right? If we test, I'm gonna give an example like creative 1 versus creative 2. Can you benchmark those on Facebook? Sure. Through time, through these different metrics, see whether or not it's green based on a certain benchmark that you've set. Actually compare those with the graph, with again, like a gallery under all these different formats. No. Can you also share a very quick link to this report with comments to a client, a colleague, a partner? Neither. So again, we kind of treat Motion App as an in-your-face and easy-to-use way of seeing our data for the creatives from both a team and a client perspective. Saves us just a ton of time, honestly, speaking to clients, and allows us to easily show and make the data speak about what we're trying to communicate to our clients. So with that being said, that pretty much concludes today's video, which is again about my thoughts and experience using Motion App. So with that said, there's gonna be 3 links in the description down below. One that is actually for you to benefit from a discount code, again, 10% off your first 3 months at Motion App. So if ever you're interested in using their app, then might as well, benefit from a small discount on there. And if you want to either have us take care of all of your ads and your creatives for your e-commerce brand, it's gonna be a link for that. And last but not least, if you're not yet at a point where you can comfortably afford an agency, but you do want consulting, you do want done with you help, and somebody to look into your ads and business over your shoulder, then also check out the description as there's a link for that too. So on that note, make sure you check out other videos of the channel for some more useful e-commerce marketing tips, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.